Hi, this is a video about multiplying algebraic expressions. We will start by multiplying terms and then we will move on to expanding brackets. We will start with 2x squared y times 4x cubed y squared. When we have two terms, we are going to times numbers with numbers and letters with letters. We need to follow the rules of indices. We will go through as we go through examples. So numbers with numbers, so 2 times 4 is 8. X squared times x cubed. When we have the same base, we are going to sum the powers. So it's going to be 2 plus 3, which is 5. We're going to add the powers when we are timing. Y times y squared. Again, y is go power 1 when there is nothing there. We know there is a 1. So y to the power 1 times y to the power 2. 1 plus 2, 3. And that's the final answer. Second example, we have 3ab squared times bracket minus a squared b squared c. So we have a positive term times a negative terms. We know that when we times a positive by a negative, the answer is negative. Numbers with numbers. So number here is a 3. Here there is no number. We know that when there is no number, that's the same as a 1. So 3 times 1 is 3. A to the power 1 times a to the power 2 times, we are going to add the powers. 1 plus 2, 3. B squared times b squared. 2 times 2, 2 plus 2 is 4. And here there is no terms in c, so the c just times by 1, which is c again. And that's the final answer. Next, we're going to introduce a fraction. So we have a cubed times 4b over a. Over means divide by. If they were just numbers, we have 10 times 4 over 5. Divide by the bottom and then times by the top. So we would have 10 divided by 5, 2 times 4. The answer there will be 8. And we're going to do the same here. So we have a to the power 3, divide by the bottom, divide by a to the power 1. So when we times, same base, we add the powers. When we divide, so a to the power 3 divided by a to the power 1, we are taking away the powers. Be a 3 minus 1, which is a squared. So that is going to be a squared times 4b, which is 4a squared b. And that is the final answer. We try to stick to the alphabetic order when we give the final answer. Next, we have 6x cubed divided by 5y to the power 4 times 15y cubed divided by 2x. So next, 6x cubed divided by 5y to the power 4 times 15y to the power 5 divided by x to the power 1. Now we are going to cross simplify here. So 6 divided by 2 is 3. X to the power 3 divided by x to the power 1 is x to the power 2. 15y to the power 5, 15 divided by 5 is 3. Y to the power 5 divided by y to the power 4 as y. So now we have to time them. 3 times 3 is 9. X squared times y is x squared y. And that is the final answer. Be careful if they are not multiple of each other. So for example, if we add 9x over 4y 5x y. Cross simplify. Now them ones they are not in the same timetable, they don't have the same letter, so you cannot do anything with them. With those two, they are both in the 3 timetable, but this is not a multiple of that, so we cannot say 9 divided by 6. But we can see that they are both in the 3 timetable, so we can ask ourselves how many 3 goes in 9 and how many 3 goes in 6. So there are 2 3's that goes in 6 and 3 3's that goes in 9, and now we are going to use those two numbers to time top with top and bottom with bottom. So we have 3 times 5x, which is 15x squared. That was 3x times 5x, 15x squared. 4y times 2y is 8y squared. Okay, if any of those examples are not clear and you want further guidance, you can just ask me a specific question and I will try to reply to you as soon as I can. Next example, we'll go x is 6x to the power 2. Now, this is a very common question at the exam, and unfortunately a lot of students do go wrong on this one, where that square belongs to everything. So you need to square everything here. So you need to square the number and the letter. So we have 6 squared as 36. X to the power 1 to the power 2. Power of a power, you have to times the powers. So for example, x to the power 3 to the power 9, we need to times the power, so that will be 9 times 3, 27. Okay, here we times the power. So here 1 times 2 is 2. Next we have 2xy squared, everything squared, times 1 over y, 1 over x. So we have 2 squared is 4, 2 times 2, x to the power 1 squared, 1 times 2, 2x squared, y to the power 1 to the power 2, power of a power, times the power, 1 times 2, 2y squared, times 1 over x. Now, x squared times 1 over x divided by x to the power 1, take away the powers, 2 take away 1 is 1, so the final answer is x, 4x to the power 1, because 2 minus 1 is 1, y squared. The last one of the examples before we move to brackets is this one. This is a bit more challenging because the power here is negative. So this is another indices rule that we're going to follow here. So we have 14a cubed b c to the power 4 times bracket, so that minus 2 belongs to everything, 2a squared b to the power 1 c squared, everything to the power minus 2. A negative power means all of that 1 over all of that. So for example, x to the power minus 3 means 1 over x to the power 3. Negative indices. Okay? So because there is a minus here, we're going to put all of that 1 over all of this to the power 2. So we have 14a cubed bc to the power 4 times 1 over all of that So the minus 2 became positive, became a denominator. So now we need to square everything that is there. So we have 2 squared is 4. A squared to the power 2, we times the power a to the power 4. B, 1 times 2 is 2. C squared to the power 2, c to the power 4. Okay, fine. Now, them two are numbers, and they're both in the 2-time table, so we can see how many 2 can we fit in 14, 7, how many 2 goes in 4, and the answer is 2. So the 14 becomes 7, the 4 becomes 2. So that's my numbers. 7 at the top, 2 at the bottom. A to the power 3 divided by a to the power 4, so the a is a to the power 1 minus 1. 3 minus 4 minus 1. B1 minus 2 is b to the power minus 1. C4 is 1, which we don't need to write it. Sometimes these questions say give your answer as a positive index, so we need to make sure that our letters have got a positive number. Now they are negative, so in order to change to them to become positive, we need to change them again as the same way we've done there. From the numerator became the denominator and the power became positive. Here we are going to change them to positive and move up to numerator. So there's going to be 7ab over 2, and that is the final answer. Okay, now we're going to finish this video with the last 3 examples on expanding brackets using what we just learned, what we just seen on our examples on multiplying algebraic expressions. So here we have first example on brackets as 2x times bracket 4x minus 3. So what we're going to do here is time everything is outside the bracket by everything inside the bracket. So 2x times 4x and then 2x times minus 3. So 2 times 4 is 8, x times x is x squared, because 1 plus 1 is 2. And then 2 times 2, x times minus 3, positive times negative, answer is negative. 2 times 3 is 6, and then we have an x. And that's the final answer. Here we have the term in front of the bracket, here we have after the bracket, but we do the exact same thing. So we have t s squared times by t squared plus s squared. We can rewrite, if we prefer, we can rewrite this to look like that, and that will be just the same as we've done there. But if we want to stick to this, we have so ts squared times t squared and ts squared times s squared. So t times t squared is t to the power 3, and then we have s squared, and then ts squared times s squared, positive times positive is positive, t s to the power 4, 2 plus 2, 4. This one is a little bit more complicated because there is minus in front of a bracket. There is no number, it's just a sign in front of a bracket. Now, there are 2 ways you can remember what to do here. You can assume that if there is no number in front of a bracket, that's a 1. So now you do minus 1 times y and minus 1 times s times minus 2x. So minus 1 times y is minus 1y, which is minus y. Minus times minus is positive. 1 times 2 is 2, and x. Okay, or another way you can remember what to do when you have just a minus in front of a bracket is get everything inside the bracket and change every sign in it. So this one is positive, becomes negative. This one is negative, becomes positive. As you can see, same answer. So this is the end of the video. Let me know if you have any further questions. If you need some more clarifications, I'll be happy to answer any question. Thank you.